Good morrow, my lovelies. Cheers. Right now, today, before I start this video, I just want to say I took some time off yesterday for about an hour or so and watched some other YouTube videos just out of interest, and the Dollhouse videos, along with all other types of videos. As you all know, there are some really good ones out there, and I watch those and I'm in awe of those people, whatever, and really enjoy them. So, and it just made me think, they have thousands of followers and viewers and what have you, but it just made me think some of you actually take time to watch my videos as well. And that makes me feel very humble and grateful. So I just want to say thank you for watching my videos as well, when you could be watching so much better. Well, maybe not, who knows, who cares. Anyway, right now, the flooring. We left the last video talking about the flooring, which we have. Here it is, flooring, and it's got a plastic on the back and it's sticky. Some people will just get the template and cut out their flooring and just stick it on, peel it off and stick it on the floor as it is. I don't like to do that because when you, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but when you see it really close up, there's no gaps between the floorboards, and in real life, on like real flooring, there would be gaps, you'd be able to see them. So it's when it's so neatly put in together like that, it almost more or less looks exactly like the paper you can buy that looks like the floorboards, but it's made of paper or plastic. And if you're going to do that, then you might as well just spend a few pounds or a few bucks and get that. This is dearer because it's real wood, so you want to make it look good, and not just as it is. So what I do is stain the whole thing first on this occasion to go in the Parisian haberdashery, because the look that I want, I'm using a red mahogany wood dye there, but you can use any stains, any wood stains, any colour you want for your house. You can also use a watered down mix of acrylic paints. You can mix paints to get the colour you want and water them down and paint that on, and that will actually stain your wood as well. And then you could wax it or put a clear polyurethane over the top of that. The choice is yours, really. This is how it comes, or this is the one that I bought, that we bought. They're just light plain wood, and after putting the red mahogany on, that's how it comes up. It's very sunny today, so I don't know if you can see, hopefully you can see the difference there when I hold them up. But it's lovely rich red tones, which is exactly what I want to go in here. I can't wait to see the floors down in this building. And with the dark brown stairs, I'm going to keep the stairs as the dark rich varnished brown old wood, because they'd be the original stairs when the lady, the owner of the shop, moved in years ago. So she's kept those, but it's got lovely rich red floors on each floor. I'm actually going to, no carpets in this Parisian house. It's going to be floorboards throughout. One other thing I will say is lots of people, and again it's choice, lots of people put the floorboards lengthways along the building, so that at the edge of your floors there you just see one long piece of wood or one joined piece of wood, and it just looks very neat along the edge and tidy. I'm not going to do that. It takes a bit longer, but it doesn't matter. In real buildings, all the floorboards would run from your front door going into the house. They would run from there to the front to back, or back to front, because the way the joists are when they build the house to start with. So all floorboards would naturally run up and down the house rather than across the house. And that's, I just want it that way, and I just think it looks good. It will mean you'll see a lot of all the ends at the edge there, but when you are just looking at the whole as a whole, you're not going to just focus on that and say it's not very neat. And I will sand it along there or cut it, so it'll be a nice straight edge anyway. So after we've stained it, then we're going to start by peeling off, I can do them here, peeling off each strip. Now it does have it is sticky on the back there, so when you stick it on the wood, it will just stick like that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to also apply tiny bits of wood glue, just a very thin string of wood glue, and glue them down. Because after a while the stickiness can wear off, and then you'll get bits of flooring lifting up. That hasn't happened to me because I've always glued the flooring down. Or the last house I did in the boho house, I glued it down. That was a long time ago now, and it's still flat. So, but I know with just sticky back like that, that would just eventually just wear off. And the last thing before I'll do some in the next clip and show you how I'm getting on. But these bits of wood, the lengths of them, I don't put them from front to back and just cut them all the way along, because real floors aren't like that. They've got joins in, and the joins are all staggered. So I'm just going to take a bit of wood, cut it where I will, anywhere shorter than that distance, and then stick it in, and then the next bit I'm going to join on and match up with the edge of the wood and cut it. So I've got a join there, and then I'll do that with each one and just make sure the joins are sort of staggered and not next to each other. It'll make it look more natural. After that is all stuck down, and when I do stick if I'll do a section at a time, and I'll put jam jars or tins of food or whatever on the floor, just to hold it down while it's drying, and I'll leave that there for a good time until I know it's completely fixed. And then after that, I will then, where the joins are on the narrow bits, when one plank ends and the other plank starts, I don't have it with me now because I won't need it for quite some time, but I have a tool that's just a spike. I can't remember what they're called, but it's just a tool with a sharp spike on the end, and I'm just going to press it and indent it in each end of the floorboards to make it look like nail indentations or screws, and I'll do that on every single join. Sounds a lot, but it's just, put some music on in the background, enjoy yourself, and before you know it, one floor's done, and it looks really good for it. But doing the little indentations and make the little nail marks, when you look at it as a whole, it just makes it look more authentic, and it looks real good. So let's get flooring. Right, now, and what's really good with this floor is the different grain in it, and some of it might be sanded slightly smoother than other bits. I'm not really too sure, but it does take on different shades, different colours, exactly like real flooring. It's never exactly one colour. It's more natural looking. So let's get this second coat on. Beautiful day today here. I hope you're having a beautiful day where you are. So the first one is already dry, so I'm going to start cutting that different lengths and sticking that on with some wood glue, and we'll get to that stage next. You can see where I am with it. And also, as I move the tins along, I'm just putting these clamps. These are really good for holding the floorboards down at the ends while they dry, and also I use those a lot for making furniture as well. Well, not a lot, but when I do make furniture I use those. And there's what are they? The mini clamps as well. They're excellent for holding units and things together while you're gluing the wood. So I use those, and as I move the row of tins along, then I'll move these clamps along as well, so the whole thing goes along, and by the time I get to the end, then the whole thing will be dry. Oh, and also, cheers, although I am drinking a cup of tea, one of my very lovely ladies, had written on YouTube on the last video and said that she was also about to have a coffee, and she spelt it like this. I'm going to put it up on the screen, and I have to say that is far more interesting than us English that call it coffee. It just doesn't even sound stylish, but coffee does. And I think that should be changed in the English dictionary, and I think that's how it should be spelled all over the place. Any English speaking people, that should be in the dictionary as spelt that way. And that's the way I'm going to spell it from now on, whether people think I'm crazy or not. Who cares? Right, but what I was going to say was, because I want to show you this, the flooring that I'd already got to do the house, I started and I showed you in the shop area, and then after I'd finished that, in between filming, I went up and I thought I'll start from the top now and I'll just work my way across and down. So I started in the bathroom. I'd got the bathroom finished less one plank or two planks, probably two, and it was really getting really dark and the lighting isn't great in here at all, so I just gave up and went to bed at the end of the evening. And you'll understand, if any of you that are doll houses makers or enthusiasts, a lot of the time when you're doing a house or working on a certain project, we tend to go in that world, and I will not be the only one that agrees when I say that I go to bed some nights when I'm in the middle of a project, especially at the beginning like this, and you just can't sleep at night and your head is just going round and round. You're picturing the people that are living there, or the person, or whoever, the family. You're thinking, if you were part of that family, what you'd have on the walls, what kind of furniture you'd have. And someone is watching out there and they are agreeing and saying, I know what it's like. I think that's the hardest, well, it's the funnest part, but also the hardest part, because your head is just spinning with thoughts and things. And believe it or not, oh God, I can't believe it. In my head, when I was picturing the other rooms, I've got furniture for already, and as you know, I've wallpapered, and the rooms are going to be more quite, not really over the top, but they're going to be very, very, I don't know, Parisian, very whatever. And the floorboards that I put in the shop, and also more or less finished the bathroom, in my head, in the end, I was talking to the woman that had moved in and has had the shop and the building for years, and when she was having the flooring redone, we were arguing. This is in bed last night. John would have had a fit if he knew she was there as well. I mean, there's him on one side, she's on the other side, saying, I don't want that flooring all over my house. It's too big. It's too naive. It's too... And I'm thinking, but I've got all this floor. So in the end, I had to agree, and I ordered different flooring, which I showed you earlier on in the video, which had arrived, which I had to get extra, and I've coloured it. But the floorboards, when you look in the description, the floorboards were thinner. They weren't as wide as there we are there. The floorboards I started using in the building are slightly wider. And these ones are thinner and more, I suppose, a bit more neat and tidy. I don't know, but the base of the shop is like the base of the building, and that had big old floorboards when it was built, so it had some nice structure underneath. The rooms up above, the floorboards, she said she wanted it refloored in a more stylish way, a bit more, not so big and clumsy, and also she wanted the bathroom ripped up and more of this flooring put in. Do you know, I think I was still awake at 3 o'clock saying to her, there's like one floorboard left to put in, like, please. And it just went round and round and round. So anyway, so I will show, let me just show you before I rip it apart. Okay, so here are the shop floorboards. As you can see, it's still all covered. I haven't tidied them up or filled them in or anything. There's bits of glue and everything, so I need to clean all that off. And I still need to put the little dents in the ends of each plank. And if I can go up here, if I can get them both in shot, there's the other flooring, which is slightly richer colour. The shop's sort of more worn, older, and the upstairs, obviously not as many people go into the living quarters, so the floor upstairs is a little bit thinner, narrower. Of course, this is all done this morning as well, so I need to start cleaning it all off. But it's a lot more refined. So that's throughout the hall, and that is the lounge, the workroom as well. She wanted the same thing. Of course, this all needs to be cleaned up, and the hallway and the bathroom. Look, it's nearly finished. Let's get these bits out of the way. Don't want those. So that's nearly done, and a lot of people would be saying, just leave it, just leave it. But there you go. The owner that's in my head was saying no. She wants all the same flooring on the living quarters and the different flooring on the shop base of the building. She doesn't want these big heavy planks up in the bathroom. She says it's not stylish enough. Oh, there you go. Okay, so I'm starting out in my trusty craft knife, or X-Acto knife, what are they called, or scalpel, whatever. And I am slowly going to start taking up bits of floor. And tonight when I go to bed, if she jumps in again and starts pointing out other things she wants changing already, then she's going to have to find herself another contractor. That's all I'm saying. I don't think I could cope. Oh, and one other thing, somebody else I'd asked in my other video about what we call skirting boards around the bottom of the room, or the base of the room. A couple of you mentioned they're called baseboards. The base of the wall, and they're a board. I don't know why our English language is so poncy sometimes, like skirting. I mean, that's what ladies wear, skirts. Anyway, baseboards. Who knew? Let's move on. Okay, so 1 hour later. Floorboards ripped up again, and there they are. Poor things. I think they cost probably about £12, I think, that flooring. But when you see the thing as a whole, joking aside, regardless of the lady who owns the property, I like the look of the shop flooring being wider and sort of heavier looking planks, and all the rest of the building being more refined, because the rooms are really quite more ornate and refined in the living quarters, and it just didn't go, having the floors all mixed and matched like that. So that's going to be an overall better effect. So another half hour or so, and I'll give this a bit of a scrape, and then I'll refloor that, and then we can put the baseboards. I've learnt. Hey, we'll put the baseboards in. Okay, so I've got some tins there holding the floor down, but that's the bathroom relaid. That took about half an hour to lay that room. So that's all the same thin, narrow wood now, and the larger wood for the shop floor itself. And as I remember, I said when you cut lengths, when you're putting, when you've got short bits like this to put in here, and you use a bit that's slightly longer than just cut it, then you end up with all little bits. Use a new length of wood to cut this short bit, and then what you've cut off one bit you can lay on another bit, and then you don't waste any. So at the end of doing all these floors, if I show you here, I have these pieces of wood left over, and these are actually strips that I've had to cut narrow to put at the edge of the wall there, just to fill that gap in on each on a couple of the rooms, not all of them. There's one there and one there. So that was just little bits left over for that, and one full width of floorboard, and that is literally all I have left of it. So hurrah! No more wood wasted. Okay, so I don't know how well you can see this. Very sunny in here today. So I have finished all the floorboards, as you know, and now after taking time to sand them and getting them all a nice colour and laying them, I'm now wearing them down and making them look much older and more lived in and worn. So you can see there, that's really worn them down. And the way I'm doing that is that's the floor just laid as it is. And then I don't know if you can see it, I'm trying to hold the video and show you, but I'm just bringing it, I'm not going across the road, but I am just pulling forward like so, and I'm just doing that more so in places like the doorways, and then a bit more worn as it would be in a real room, and maybe by sofas and things where the lady sits and has her friends in. But there we are, so I would more or less sort of rub half of the stain back off again. You can't really stain them first time to make them look like this before you put them in, especially if you want certain areas more worn than others. You really have to lay the floor first and then stain them. So I do that and then get a wet cloth and wipe so I can see, and I'll just let that dry to see how it is, and then I can go over it and rub any more bits if I want to. It's quite nice the way it's coming up, the joins in the floorboards, the way they're being picked out because they're worn around the edges. I like that look. So let's carry on and finish the rest of the flooring doing that. Right, just before we move on to putting all that, I've just started putting doors in. Here we are. I'm using the dark wood, the same as the stairs. But just to show you the sort of more or less finished floor where I've sanded, worn it down, and you may or may not be able to see it on video, but I've done all the little indentations on every single plank of wood where the nails would be, just marks where the nails would be. And looking at it in real life, it looks real good. Right, you might say that was a labour of love. Oh my God, I'd never take time to do that. But if I show you that floor there, so it's the full width of the house, 3 rooms, the hall and the 2 big rooms. I put the timer on my watch, on my phone, and that took me just under 8 minutes using, oh, I'll show you the tool as well. Show you this, oh, it's got the top on it, hang on. It's everything's got a name, and it probably had a name when I bought it, but it's basically looks like a pen. It's quite heavy metal, but it's just a sharp point. And if I can get that in the camera, and then just push down, push down, push down, push down, and that's one floor done. I shouldn't have started that in the middle there. It doesn't really matter, but what I was going to say to you was just start from one end, right to left, left to right, and do the first plank and then the next and the next, and just move along, and you just get into a rhythm going backwards and forwards, and then you don't miss out any planks. If you start in the middle like that and then do one over there and one over there, then you take time looking to see which ones you've missed out. So just start from one end and work across. And like I said, just under 8 minutes to do one floor. I've already done the shop as well, so I'll just another 8 minutes and I'll get the top floor done. Right, so I've put all the wiring in, I've wired it at the back, but I've decided at the end there just to put one more lamp in. I'm going to put a table lamp in this room on the bedside table. So I've a good idea as well when you're making holes to put the wiring in. Remember not to go below the skirting board level or the baseboard level, because once you've put that in, you don't really want to drill right through, and plus you wouldn't be able to get a cable down behind. So I always do it just above the baseboard. So I've marked where I want it to go. Easy as that. I'll just get the vacuum. I want to clean that out, and then we'll turn it around. All I'm going to do is push the wire through once I vacuum, push it through the hole to the other side, and then wire it up. So I'll get that cleaned up and we'll turn the house round. Right, okay, now this is where the cable is coming out, and this is where I've put the copper. I don't want to put 2 copper wires out there, so it's another join just to add 1 light. So I'm just bringing the flex out to it, and I'm just going to fix it on there. What I have done, this isn't actually attached to the lamp, because I wanted the lamp on the other side of the room, on the near side of the room. The cable on it wasn't long enough to come across the room and out here and to there. It was too tight. So this is actually another extension plug cable. So I'm just going to plug the lamp inside the room itself. So what I'm doing first of all is, if you get the solder here, I don't know how well you can see, but just somewhere on the 2 joins on the copper there, I'm just putting in 2 blobs of solder. There, like that. Hopefully you can see that. And that does cool off. You know, you can just touch those. They cool off really quite quick. But obviously I wouldn't advise you to do that and then touch it as quick as possible to burn yourself. That would just be silly now. So once you've put the solder on there, then bring the 2 over. As I said, there's no polarity or whatever the words are. It doesn't have to go one way or the other. No positive or negative. So just touch one onto one and one onto the other. Oops. Like so. And then the other one. It's very fidgety job. They're very delicate. Here we are. That's that one attached as well. So we'll just, I think that's the last one's done. We'll just unplug that, and we'll turn the house around again. But that's all I don't know how much you can see here, but that's all the wiring done, copper wiring, and all the lights are now attached to the copper. And the new one that I've put, the new bedroom table lamp, I've written up there bedroom table lamp, so I know that wire is where the lamp in the room where it is. Okay. Right, I've just popped into the kitchen again just to catch up in case you were interested. Some people were asking. Catch up with John's house. He's put in all the light in, he's put flooring in. Look, he's done the flooring as well. We've got fireplaces and lights. There's another fireplace. That's absolutely gorgeous. I don't know how to get closer than that with this tablet. But anyway, and also if I come back here, you can see now he's put the house onto the basement. So we've got all these rooms now, and here's the basement, and lovely green light in there, and lovely floor in there. And here we are. So there we are. Say hello, folks.
Hello, folks.
Hello, folks. Are you pleased with what you've done so far?
Yes. I'm just finishing the floor, and I'm just putting the same flooring as Richard into this room here. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this room yet. And
so it's going to be flooring like this, isn't
yes,
it? That's looking lovely. And John's doing it a different colour because he's having it's a different house, different theme.
Yeah.
So we've got flooring to put in there, and then that's the basement done. So, and you're not sure what's going to go in there.
So I think one's going to be a lounge. I'll have a dining room,
and
one's going to be a music room.
Excellent.
This is going to be like a baby room, a loft.
Yep.
These are just hallways. This will be a kitchen.
Yep.
But I'm not sure about this room yet.
and you're going to, that was original paper, you're going to take that off and
Yes.
put a very similar paper back on
Yes.
and change the colour of the skirting boards to match the rest of the house, aren't you?
Good on.
Or the baseboards we've learnt now, which
That's
is a better name for them because they're at the base of a wall.
Want it
So-
dark rather than the light. I think it looks better.
Yes, it's going to go dark and
Yeah.
there'll be dark doors. So, hurrah!
So, yeah.
Hurrah! Hurrah!
Thank you very much.
Okay then, let's get back into the conservatory and I'll show you how I've got on with mine. Okay, here we are. I've put all the lighting in. They are actually lit, as you can probably see, but it is bright sunny day coming in here today, so you don't really get a great effect on it. But anyway, I've also, just to show you, I'm having dark wood doors and skirting baseboards. So I've put those in as well, so you can see the room's more or less finished now. There's other rooms there, the hallway, and then there's a lounge, and then down to the shop area. And and this is in the bedroom here. This is where I've just fitted the extension cable, so you can see the cable comes right across the room here, and there's a little plug there to plug the lamp in, and the lamp's going to go here on a bedside table, so it gives it a nice length there to play with. So hurrah! So the last thing before I start actually dressing the house, cannot wait, is to put the stairwells in. There's 2 stairwells there, which I won't show you now, that will be in the next video, but I'm actually carpeting them, and I can tell you it took ages to work out how to do it, and I'll explain why in the next video. And just in case other people are wanting to do the same thing, I'll show them how I achieved it. So there we are. Right, now I'm just putting this bit, inserting this bit into the video. It's sort of back to front, although you wouldn't know, but how I'm filming this. But I thought I'd put this bit in an appropriate place, just so you had an idea, or whatever, see how my journey is actually going. Before I do that, I want to say hello, because as I'm working on this video, I'm getting a couple more subscribers, so I'd like to say hello to Kimberly B. Hello Kimberly, hope you are well, like I always say and mean, and hope you are enjoying watching my videos, and welcome to the family. And also welcome to, forgive me for pronouncing your name incorrectly, I am deeply sorry for that, but a big welcome to Luan Schalt. Luan Schalt? Or Schold? I'm not sure. You know, I don't. But welcome to you anyway, Luan. I hope you are enjoying the videos you've seen so far, and continue to enjoy. You're in the last 100 subscribers of my 1,000 subscribers. Yay! Cannot wait to say I have 1,000 subscribers. It's such a big thing to me. Also, in my last video, because it's connected with this house, I had different friends asking questions, which I answered, but also to help everybody else, and in case you are also doing doll houses, or might just be starting out, or might be doing doll houses for quite some years but haven't used different things, and it's always good to get different tips from people. So a lady asked me, Karen actually from down under. Good day, Karen. I do think about you a lot, and hope you're okay at the moment. Yes, Karen asked the glue or the adhesive that I use for my wallpaper. I use, actually I've got it here, I didn't plan this, but it's just hanging around. So I use a PVA glue. This is Wilko, it's just a cheap shop. Everyone has cheap shops around. So go into your cheap hardware store and get some PVA glue. You can water it down, but I don't, because it just makes the paper wetter and it bubbles up more and it creases easier. But I use this neat and just spread it nice and thinly. It depends what mood I'm in. Sometimes I'll spread it on the paper first and then put the paper up. Sometimes I put it on the wall and then offer the paper up to it. Both ways work, so you know, it's up to you how you do it. But what I will say, some people may think that PVA is a bit thick for wallpaper, and they may use a spray, which is brilliant. I think the sprays are a bit dearer, but you can spray the wallpaper and move the wallpaper about for a short time before it's stuck, and that doesn't wrinkle so much. But using PVA, the paper, if it's a really cheap paper, really thin, then it may get soggy quite quickly. But if you use a good paper, which is what I have used for this house, I wouldn't use it for every house because it's not cheap. But if you use a good paper, you can hear it. It's not thin, it's not like A4 paper, printing paper. It's much thicker and card. And this really went on so easy on this house. And I may put it up on the screen, or maybe even hold this up. But I got this from, it's a company in Spain called Les Chinoiseries. Les Chinoiseries. That's it, Les Chinoiseries. And I shall, hopefully you can see that. There it is, there. Hopefully that's in focus. It'll save me thinking of writing it on the screen. And these are from their museum collection, 1700s to 1900s. There we are. Okay. So I may have a big range of wallpapers. It's the same as John has used in his house, but he used different designs because we wanted to all have different each. Okay folks, thank you very, very much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something from it, inspiration if anything. But that's it now, for now. As I said, in the next video I'm working on the stairs, and I will be putting those in, showing you how I did the carpet. It's going to look super duper, and literally in the next video I will then start dressing the rooms. I don't know how many I'll do on the video, but I won't be doing the whole house in one video. But exciting, honestly I cannot wait. Also I've got the basement, the same as John's house. I've got the basement, so at some point I will be working on that, completely redecorating it. I don't know what the rooms are going to be, but I do have an idea, and I also have an idea for the outside of the house as well, an addition. So we'll watch this space, see what happens. Can only happen only hope for the best. Anyway, cheers my lovelies. Sorry if you can hear little dog barking next door. The family's gone out, and I think he's wants him to come home. Bless him. But anyway, thanks very much for watching folks, and speak to you very, very soon. I hope you're all well. Take care. Bye all.